Damn. Anyway, I loaded the wrong one. Shit. There we are. Got cool graphics. New show coming out. There we are. It's got cool music, but I loaded the wrong one in.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna give you some flowers.
So here we are, man. Clydesdale After Dark. It's been way too freaking long.
Way too long. The boys are back in town. I hope that was over the intro. That's the appropriate song since Charlie's here too.
I got to use that like no royalty music, so YouTube doesn't ding me.
I'll tell you the secret. There's a God bless Ryan Schultz and also R.I.P. Ramwad. He showed me a thing on YouTube. You'd have to rip it, but I think they changed the beats per minute yay much, so none of the royalty-free things go off.
Yeah, I found a really good site that I pay a subscription to.
Oh, of course,
it's
dude.
Great. It's great music.
Which one is it? The Art List or Epidemic Sound?
Art List.
Art List, yeah. You've been in that media room, baby. You heard them. Maybe that's where they get it. Yeah. And by they, I mean everybody. So
yeah.
Charlie, where you at? You got a sexy accent wall behind you? I know that ain't your office.
Oh yeah.
That's your home office or your office?
Home office.
Oh, okay. You didn't do that. Your lady did that.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Hey, before we get into this, dude, I pop into the chat and I listen to all the things y'all are doing. And I reminisced a whole bunch last week when we were going back and forth about like getting back on stuff. Dude, the progression of first like quarter of Scotty doing these things and like to now, even with the graphic, just watching the graphic roll in, I hope you walk real slow and realize like the leaps and bounds, dog. And like the authority you are in the space and like all the things, like I love it. And then like, and being able to be, you know, as close as I have been and you and I stayed, it's very cool to watch, man. So I love it, Bubba. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. You know, when your shit gets clipped,
and
put out on like the big dogs page.
That's it.
And your shit blows up all week. It's been crazy.
You're a big dog, bud. Look, you're in the room for a reason. Don't think you're a little dog in the room. You're one of the big dogs.
Yeah, I might be like a lab, but like that dude's like a Great Dane.
That's America's dog, Scott. Okay, labs and golden retrievers.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, man.
Before we get into it too much, Corey Leonard texts me. He's like, "After dark means like after dark, not afternoon."
No, it's always dark in our hearts, baby. It's always dark in our hearts.
After dark came about back in the day when we were first getting started, and we'd bring Dex on, and you'd pull the string, and you never knew where you were going.
Yeah, that's still true.
It was kind of a warning to the crowd.
Yeah.
This ain't your normal Clydesdale podcast.
I joked with my buddy. I was like, it was like my mom would never let me watch BET after dark because you never knew what you were gonna get. Back when like tip drill videos were on there and it was uncensored. That's right. So yeah, it tracks. That's on brand, baby.
Yeah. Corey said it's definitely after dark in our hearts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, Corey, my dude.
Yeah. Dude, I cannot let the two of you get together.
No, we talk on Instagram way more now after that initial day where we just kind of popped on. But it's yeah, he's funny, man.
If we got you two on, it'd be Cinemax After Dark.
Jesus Christ. That's for the old. We're dating ourselves now for sure. Yeah. Is that even a thing anymore? Well, that was before streaming services. That was when you had to pay for it. The extra cable add-on.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Now, like Cinemax and HBO combined to one thing, and
yeah, that's nuts. You know what? It don't irk me. I love it because I'm a proponent of the plus size fitness people and Clydesdale people. Your name, me and Chris Walker. I told you when I first met you, that was always our thing, like Clydesdale, whatever. He was on the Maximus team with me. And then whoever keeps sponsoring this thick boy, I finally found him on Instagram after like the second time I saw it. Like, well, all these things I'm missing. I always joke with people like my Instagram could have been like Dexual Healing. And I missed the boat there because now it's just my name, right? See, really missed the boat there. But yeah, dude, there's so many cool brands. And like when you started this, I text Chris. I was like, we missed the boat, boy. We really could have capitalized. But Thick Boy's good too.
Yeah, it's funny. Again, trolls will switch it to whatever they want to, and it's all fine and good and whatever. Because I'm just loving life.
Yeah, you're doing great, dude. You're doing it.
But you need a platform, right? You haven't been out there in a while. There's
Oh,
a whole lot of shit going on in this CrossFit thing that we got going on, and I want to give you that platform again. So we're bringing back After Dark. So Dex,
we're
Dex
ripping.
can go, man.
When did I text you after the Sean thing broke?
Sean thing. Yep. Well,
Yeah.
you've been texting me a lot lately. We just finally said let's get this thing going.
Well, because we've been trying to get to. We usually have gotten together more than online at this point in the year. I didn't make it to either semifinal this year, and I had an athlete in the West. Had some our bigger brute athlete people in Tennessee, which is an easy drive. Dude, we just didn't disperse. And I was super spoiled this year. I mean, I was pumped. I've been pumped since 2015 to be a Masters athlete, and so getting to do everything at home. And then like kind of a perfect storm of like starting a new job at Iron Tribe, which we'll get into that bag, especially with like recent developments and a bunch of stuff going on with CrossFit. Yeah, it was just a weird storm. So yeah, but I've been blowing your phone up because I miss you. Let me love on you. And every time if Charlie starts posting sneaker stuff again, I'll give him stuff about like socks matching and wearing mids and stuff like that.
Well, I had a media pass for you in Knoxville.
I know, bub. I know. I had babies, so
I made
we
the
were hanging
call.
out.
I even
You did?
made the call.
I know, I'm the worst, dude. That was weird. It was a good weekend though. And I hate again to go watch those the events. I love the events this year. But yeah, dude. So
before you get rolling though, I do have a 3:00 meeting, and that's 2:00 your time.
Yeah, we're gonna be short and sweet, baby. I didn't know we were going live, and I just wanted to love on y'all a little bit, and then talk about like them cleaning house again, right? Like I feel like me and you've been through 2 waves of feeling the effects of that stuff, man. And I got on there on Sean's post the other day, right? Because that was kind of a bombshell to me, because it'd be like if before John Madden died, he was like, "Hey, peace out, guys. I'm not doing commentary anymore," right? Or like, Harry Carey in baseball and stuff like that. Just like staple names, right? No matter the venue or the sport or anything like that. And I remember like, kind of seeing the fear wash over people, or not fear, just like, what the hell do I do now? Like before Heber and them had Buttery Bros and all those people, right? When they kind of cleaned house, and all that kind of worked itself out for a smaller group. And then, those people went off to have, a bigger deal personally than what they had. But like, dude, being around the brand for so long, man, I started, what was it? Mobile got me into this with her family in 2010, summer before my senior year of college, senior year of football. And I never left, never been able to put it down. Like I've tried. That year I just did media. It was like the only year I haven't like full speed, done it, just because it's something I loved. And like you slowly but surely see things that were staples, right? Like the Greg stuff is what it is. Like Greg's always been the mouth and not scared to say stuff. And like, yeah, some of it was fully timed, and there was some stuff that comes out that was, insane and frowned upon. Cool. But like, and then the Dave stuff, but like starting to clean it so much where like the voice of the sport, bro. Like, and I know everybody wants to bitch about like the separation of church and state, and the sport is not the community, but like the storytelling of the sport is a huge deal for the connection to the community, right? Like you might not throw games footage into your affiliate lobby where like, Susie's coming in here to lose 150 pounds and she just wants to be able to stand up off her couch and stuff real easy and play with the kids and continue to do that and live independently. But it's always been a thing to aspire to, right? Like old dudes play flag football. It don't mean they're trying to go to the NFL, but they still watch it. They still love it. It gives you some feel goods and some aspiration and some, something to work to. But pulling the storytellers away is so weird to me, dude. That's why I put that thing up yesterday. Like we're all just the violin guy that decided to keep playing as the Titanic sinks now. And I text Tommy about it. I was like, dude, what the hell is going on? And nobody knows. And I didn't see that. I just saw that Nikki's not doing it either. I imagine like, because I'm used to like Josh and G's the homie, Brenton, dude. Like they, have been different about like getting Brenton and those people out there. And so like, I hate to see when the decline seems very visible when they're talking about like, yeah, it's not for sale, but it is. And everybody's kind of playing hot potato with this thing that I've loved for so long and has loved me back, has let me love on people like you, us loving each other, the relationships I've built. Like it's always been my favorite part. And the health and wellness byproducts and all that stuff. But like the roots that run deeper to me have always been the relationships and the ability to give and receive love in a way that just, it's hard to find somewhere else in this realm, whether it's sport or the affiliate and the community. And so I hate feeling like that stuff, because I mean, you know me, dude. I'm a loudmouth. The filter between my brain and mouth does not work often. But when I get on these things, and it's always been like, hey, CrossFit's dying, because those have been on YouTube forever. And I've always been like, come to bat in a go till you tap out talking about it way. right? But it breaks my heart to be able to kind of like really see the ship feel like it's sinking slow. Like, because nobody knows who's going to kind of hold the keys to the car next year or year to year. What businessman is going to come in and try to run it like a tech company or whatever. And that breaks my heart, dude. And then where I currently have a job, that has been 90 days, and the structure of this, the development, the follow through, all the things that I love about what we do and affiliates and stuff like that is here. And the support from like a bigger company, a brand and all that stuff, the things that I used to really wish that like you consistently got from an HQ or stuff like that, you get, dude. And it almost until probably last weekend we had Coach Khan in Birmingham with Iron Tribe, and my eyes have been open to it, to what this is, because this is functional fitness. Classes, structure is a little different. The business structure is a little different. It's not free market like Greg had. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but just the backing and the kind of the structure, man, is way different from a corporate level. There's no guess and gain. There's no hopes and wishes that it continues the next year, right? Now, there's no season. There's no open semis games, because it's strictly, let me peel 100 pounds off of you. Let me restore function. Let me give you back to a full vacation with your kids and all that stuff in here. And we're really, really good at it from an objective, results-driven perspective. And that's why I think all those things hit me a little heavier now, because I've been, and even in a devil's advocate way, when I've not been like HQ advocate, I've been a 10-year level 1 coach just because I didn't want to give any money, because sometimes I didn't agree with how we were doing stuff. But yeah, dude, it's been really weird to transition to something that is like but different, and then at the same time seeing kind of the unraveling of things that I've loved, especially with like people I'm close with and chop it up with when we go to these events.
So let me ask you this question. Everybody, like, I've gotten at least 20 DMs on this Sean Woodland thing.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's saying, well, trimming the fat, cost cutting. That seems too easy to me. He doesn't make that much money.
No.
And
I know what most of them make per event.
And I also noticed that, because I've heard from a reliable source, the team is going to be chasing Adrian with Mike Arsenault on the floor.
Yeah, and dude, look, chasing Adrian, dude, Adrian is great. Adrian's the Tony Romo of it, and I wanted to do that. And Adrian is awesome, him and Chase both.
But they're both under contract with CrossFit because of the CrossFit podcast.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit under more control than, say, you bring in a Sean Woodland from an outside media company to do this. He's not as much under control. Do you think it's more the control or more the money?
It's got to be the money and maybe contractually, but you got to think, we talked about like Heber and Marston, dude. There's no telling how much more money they make from strictly a sponsorship standpoint, right? And you know that now because you ride on some of them. That's how this whole thing floats, right? There's no telling how much more money they make doing their own thing. So, and Tommy and Sean have figured that out as well, right? Brought on Lauren. Lauren is professional, like to the utmost. And like, I know I got a deeper look into what you're doing with both hands right now after doing morning chalk up stuff with Lauren, right? Regardless of how that worked out under that brand, but seeing the professionalism that she brings to it coming out of the news world and that she's able to do, and the same thing, like, it honestly makes me more impressed with the way you've picked it up, Bubba, because that ain't your background. Like, you're not an anchor, right? That's why I always try to give you the flowers for it. But like, Sean is the most professional for those things. They don't need to control Sean, right? From a like the voice, golden voice, right? Heartbeat of the community. He's been as deep in with HQ as anybody has been, like on the review shows, all the things. It's like, that just makes no sense to me. I understand bringing in new people and expanding the team, right? Especially with people like Adrian, bro. Like, Adrian has his own programming company. He's not going to go do it for free, but like, a lot of times when I got income coming from other places, as long as I'm not going to take a loss at the event, I want to come love on people, see the homies, take part, right? Because we all do genuinely love it. So if you can make it make sense, not make me rich, I'm with it. So that, like, I thought about that too. And Sean is not one that's like me. I understand why people don't harass me to go do stuff like that. I'm very regional diction. We do joke about that all the time. Like, Forrest Gump ain't getting in the booth. And like, I get to talking fast and say wild stuff. It may not be cool on CBS or ESPN or whatever we're on that year, right? Now I could probably tone it down and get there. But I mean, dude, Adrian speaks fluent L1 and has a next level athlete experience for a ridiculous amount of years. Good looking dude, very well spoken, insanely intelligent, depth of knowledge for not only like the strength and conditioning part of it as a programmer, but also as an athlete itself, D1 athlete and all those things. Sean has that from a hockey background, like, and just, it's weird to me to cut the feet off of that when you have such an established thing, right? I mean, it's kind of like keeping a member is way cheaper than going to find a new one at a gym, right? So to me, that's the kind of turnover thing, and which I didn't understand.
So,
Like media stuff, it's expensive, cool. But like the Sean stuff and like the whole production where they have to do the, like what they do last year, had Chase do it from a phone basically, which Chase didn't mind. He did a great job. I text him live while he's doing those things. I'm like, God bless you on this event. This is boring as hell. But they always keep the ship afloat because they're pros and they know the game. They know the game in the booth, how to be professional with it, what the people that do it are starting it, and what if they're interested in it need to hear to get that engagement and draw those people in. And that's what kind of drives me crazy about all this stuff. And I'm just a salty old man for it.
there's a lot of things that drive me crazy. One, I've known Sean since the late 90s as a sports broadcaster in Tallahassee, Florida, back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Before CrossFit ever even was born,
Mm-hmm.
right? I watched him on TV. Sean has never said any phrase that ruffled a feather.
Never.
In the
Consummate
12 years
pro.
he's been doing this.
Yeah.
Right? He has been straight down the fairway. And Carolyn Prevost in the chat, she talks to me about how the athletes love him because he actually cares about the backstory of the athlete and tells that story as opposed to just what's happening in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you need that. You need that fill in a long chipper workout of what's going on with those athletes, right?
Painful.
Painful. Good at that.
He's so good at it, and it's so, like you said, dude, it's not his first, second, or 10th rodeo. And he's so thorough. His timing is so good. Like, you can't training someone to do that. That's why, like, I joke about Adrian speaking fluent L1. Adrian is good at it because of that experience. And Adrian's roots in the sport are infinitely deep. I see people fuss sometimes in the comments, and like they've even done it to me, like, we want to hear people talk about this and not their athletic experience. Dude, what does Tony Romo do on a Monday night, right? Like, what does Greg Olson do? Your relative experience being able to give you another layer into like what athletes are thinking regardless of sport, right? Like they're gonna, I hope that someday they do it with Tiger Woods if they can get him in the booth. Like I can't imagine the things or the nuances he can let you in on. And like Sean's never been to the games, but Sean can do that, right? Like, and I joke with people all the time when that, because everybody does the like, coaches who's never done it. Bill Belichick never threw a football, homie, but he's one of the greatest coaches ever lived. So you don't have to have that. And that's Sean's so good at telling those stories, like you're saying. And that's why I'm partial to the former athletes, but like, yeah, Sean doesn't ruffle feathers, so it has to be, it's not a control thing to me, it has to be a money grab. But that makes me churn into like bigger picture things like the direction of that company and like, are we all like just holding this football on the table hoping somebody takes it and runs with it? Like, so, I mentioned where I work now, Iron Tribe, right? So structure-wise, a lot of franchises, very Southeastern. It is not the numbers monster that affiliates are, right? But the fear, and I felt this, you and I've talked about this, Scott, I should have opened a gym 5 years ago by myself, right? Product-wise, on the floor, cash money. The things that scare me, building the systems, building the brand, building the visibility, coming up with all the things. Like I can get it conceptualized in my head, putting it to paper in a spreadsheet, and articulating it out to drive traffic and put the car together, so to speak, right? I always say I've driven the car for a lot of people. These things happen here in a seamless way. Systems from onboarding from coaches through a video series. Matt, what's Forrest's last name? Forrest Walden's the guy that found it, right? And it's only funny because I used to be such a hater for it because the first CrossFit journal I ever read was this logo, no, I'm backwards, this logo powered by CrossFit in Birmingham. And it was a CrossFit journal about them suing them for doing what Jason did, and they end up slapping him on the wrist for NorCal stuff, right? Because we don't want you to franchise, yada yada yada. But dude, the system to support from start to build to to the clouds if you want to here is something. And I joked with Forrest at CoachCon, right? And I said that term earlier. All the coaches for Iron Tribe went to Birmingham, had this weekend of development. Nobody paid for it. First form shows up, sponsors show up, we all kick it together, work out, talk about the best practices, directions, state of the union stuff. So it's not hopeful YouTube channel we got, or YouTube post we got from CrossFit that's probably not going to happen now. Like, they give Hiller the most shit in those things. And it's so weird to me, because like me and you've joked about that. I love Andrew. I've always been terrified of not being in the room and getting like denied media passes and stuff, but I'm on board with most of the things he says and the spotlights he put on it, because he's very informed. He's done a deeper dance with it, owning an affiliate and all those things than I have. So like, never been a hater. Some of it's kind of brash, but it's also, he has no problem telling you it's for views. But like, I've done coaching development with people. I have done many, many, many hours on the floor and all the things that are affiliate, except own it and stood on the, you know, the knife's edge of that, just out of fear. And that's something I'm getting over. But doing this, dude, really made me eat some crow, and kind of take a look at the flow that we have been doing. And I have friends who are affiliate heads for their region, right? Chase is one of them. Andrew's one of them in North Central. And they're awesome dudes. They have very successful businesses. I think Chase sold Big D. But Andrew's got an awesome affiliate, and like, takes nothing away from those. It's just hopes and wishes of like something that I love for so long, and getting a different taste of it, where it's same realm, just a different flavor, and it works, dog. Works consistently, and the stats say that over 10 years plus now. And so it made me go in deeper, thinking of like the model they have for people, and seeing people pass this hot potato around, right? So that's what worries me, man. I hope it doesn't go anywhere, especially since I just started Masters and we got in on the first shot. And look, you said that the other night. If they took 20, Dex went, I would have went faster, Scott. Okay, I'm good in house. We want to do just enough, baby, just enough to get in. We won't show all your cards. As far as anybody knows, I just lift weights. I don't condition at all. That's why I joked on my post I put on last night. But
you forget we had you on the show going into the last two events,
yeah.
and you were scared as hell with those last two events.
Oh, dude, they were so good for me. I pissed down my leg. Me and Marquand joked about it the other day. He was talking about testing Semifinals Workouts. And like, we always joke about like people who are taking stuff and this, that, and the other. And he was talking about testing one. And I said the same thing. I was like, dude, I didn't repeat any of them, because I was like, these are home runs for me. Like, muscle up, heavy front squat, cool. I wish it was 275. No big deal. Because I knew some people were going to get popped for standing up front squats. And like, front squats and muscle ups are cool for me. Dude, I did not do that well on those. And I don't know if it was like an overconfidence thing or whatever. Quan said the same thing. He said, yeah, I tested that workout. I was like, okay, cool, respectable score. Takes a 20th at semis on the workout he was talking about. And he's like, that's when I was like, yeah, what? It's more than protein shakes being drunk out here. So, but it's funny, man. Just the progression of the game. And my thing has always been to try to stay in it and check in to see if it's passed me by from a capacity level, right? Like, I am in here.
What you're saying though is people are adding creatine.
Yeah. It's just the most researched. Yeah, it's got to be. It's beam. It's beam is what it is. They're sleeping better. That's what it is. Yeah. It's got to be. Yeah.
It's the ice bath.
But they snort the beam is what I heard. So delivery is what it is. So it's a wild time. But I don't know, man. I love the game on every level, right? I'm coming in to be a healthier grandpa, grandma, mom, dad, brother, sister, wife, husband, whatever. And I love competing. And I want this thing to keep churning. I don't want to see the numbers drop on the affiliate map or any of those things. But I don't like being in the dark or wondering. And I don't think anybody does. And the more figureheads that fall, the more it feels like inevitability. And I hate that. So I don't want to see it go down, man. I've loved this longer than I love football now. So it'll break my heart. But the version, it'll go on, right? In some capacity, I just would like it to be the global community it's always been, and not kind of wither away, even when people are trying to grab it.
Corey says, I thought that front squat muscle up workout was going to be gravy for me. My gravy turned out to be burnt.
Yeah, mine was tomato gravy, which nobody likes, right? That's old man gravy. That'll strike you. If you say you like tomato gravy, you're born in 1936. But yeah, look, in-house, I loved it, dude. Doing every stage in-house, oh, that was so good. Slept in my own bed, got to cook myself breakfast, and had to go spend any money. It was beautiful. It might have been while I was lazy trying to get to Knoxville, Scott. I was spoiled. I'm a spoiled old man now.
What I love about having you on is who the hell knows where we're going. That's why it's after dark, right? Because
that's it.
We don't know. So what is an appropriate number for Masters? Because 40 for all the divisions is too many athletes.
Okay, so I would say that if we were all one event. If it is its own event, I don't think 40 is too many. So now we can treat it like a real event. We can have heats, right? There's gap time in between the events. You can get a little sexy with the programming. What I didn't like, what we were hearing the other day, that was news to me, that's why I was in there like going crazy. I didn't realize everybody was shuffling stuff. I'm a gear whore, you know that. I want a sign. The whole reason I was pumped about this year, I want a sign with my name on it. All my signs say Maximus or Move Fast, Lift Heavy or Ramwad, Meat Squad, which I love. All of those people I've ever been on a team with, I love dearly except for one or two, and they know who they are. But those are the signs. I want something to say Dex Hopkins.
Well, you're going to get that, but you're going to have to wash it 17 times to make it through the weekend.
Shit, it might be a business card now. It might not be a sign. But like that's why I joked, because that 2015, the first year we went, dog, I'm telling you, the highlighter orange and blue stuff, I took it home and washed it, and I worked at Maximus, right? I could wear that as coaching shirt. Well, I must have washed and dried that Reebok shirt, and everything peeled off of it. Like it was just, they pressed it on with like the hotel iron before they came and gave it to us. And I loved all that. You couldn't tell me nothing about it. I wore those tights an unreasonable amount of times. But that's what somebody fussed the other day. Like, Reebok colors were so much cooler. Yeah, you wasn't there. That neutral stuff was sexy. I'd wear that out somewhere. The No Bull apparel, I don't like No Bull shoes. The apparel is Lulu, basically. But
listen, though, for the spectator, we could tell who was who.
Yeah, okay, that was a valid point. I get that. But also, now we can wear whatever shoes we want. And at some point, I'm gonna wear Jordan. So you look for me anyway. You're the homie. Charlie's looking for me. We can pick my shoes out.
Well, you're 6 inches taller than everybody else on the floor. You're easy to find.
Also that, yes. I've been waiting on the dunk contest event. But yeah, dude. So I don't bring it back around. I don't think 40's too many if it's a standalone event. I'm excited to see what Baaaack and them do in Michigan with the teen games. If you've ever been to the pit, did you ever make it out to the pit?
I've not.
Dude, it's his setup. I knew last year, I took one of my athletes, Anna Meredith, out there. She won it the year before, the JV, did well in varsity last year. But it's so good, dude. But infrastructure-wise, there's only so many places to take a poop, and that would be a huge problem, right? It'd be like Woodstock. Everybody would be out there sleeping in the mud and plus.
Jamie went there last year.
Yeah.
And said they got to do something about seating and infrastructure.
It's impossible.
We're only going to be at the pit one day. The rest is in Kalamazoo at an arena.
Dude, I'm telling you, the things they can do at the pit, dog, it's sexy. Like, Baaaack, I mean, I need to text Baaaack. We hadn't talked. It's been a weird year. But, like, dude, the pit is sexy, and that's what I said. Because Boz was creeping around last year. I was like, hey, what you doing here? I know what y'all about to do. And I prayed Masters wasn't going to do it. And then the more they got into it, the more I was cool with it because of the pageantry, right? Like, I've been on teams, I've been the stepchild. Your events are on the chopping block for time. And the master stuff, I didn't want to be the same way. But it being its own standalone event, and Jason Grubbs, you know, I think feels the same way. He was excited about it. And to me, he's like the guy that pulls that wagon. And he was just at a boot camp in Jacksonville. Dude, I love Jason Grubbs, like, and everything. YouTube channel, great person, like one of the most coachable people ever. Love the cat. And so we got to chop it up about it, and it changed my mind about it. And then last year I was at MFC, right? Like Master Fitness Collective was awesome. And like Ron and his lady run it. I want to say mostly his lady. Ron's the shake hands and kiss babies guy. He's the model out there. Pretty boy Ron. But I thought that was going to be it, and that's why I went and did that event because I'd never done Legends. But you know, and the leaks and things happen, dude. It's funny to see people get stirred up about that. Like, who cares? It happens. People are people, and they're going to help the homies out. Like, it's not unethical or whatever. You'd be crazy not to, I guess. But I thought because it's its own standalone thing, it'll be a little sexier. When we were talking about the other night about like sponsors dipping in and out and the bag being a little less as far as like, you know, the cool, here's my gear picture. I didn't realize that like GoRuck pulled out of that and it was just Northern Lights, like, and all that stuff. And so, you know, which is cool, like qualifying and the stuff that comes with that is cool enough for me. I got enough workout apparel and shoes. By God, I got enough shoes. But it's I just want the experience for the fastest growing demographic, and make no mistake. And then working here is letting me know even more so. The fastest growing demographic in that, as more information comes out about longevity and your ability to maintain muscle mass and live independently and metabolic disease and all this stuff, the more of those things come out, the more that it's actually a lifeboat to the people that need it, dog, that are the closest to it, not 18 and 19-year-olds, right? Like 30 plus, 35, 40 plus year olds that are now trying to take a hold of their health and move into like a healthy, functional retirement and want to live by themselves and wipe their own ass their whole life and not have to be in a home. It seems more logical to me to service that community. And then again, games is church and state from the community. I get that. But those are the folks who are going to spend the money to come watch. They're going to take PTO. If they got PTO, they might be retired already, right? Like, and so, and they like, me and Jared talk about this all the time. I almost said comp train, proven Jared. Everybody's damn proven right now. But, you know, he put up something today about like elite marathoners, like sometimes have still, and track athletes cover the travel, cover the shoes and all this stuff. So like, I'm not naive to that, man. Like, this is not going to be the NFL. It's fine. There's opportunities out there, but for a very select few, and like me and you are homies with some of those people that are the select few that make the bag.
But here's the deal. I'm cool with you only giving out 3 shirts and 3 pairs of shorts.
Yeah, but let me wear whatever else I want after that.
But don't require them to wear it at every event then for 12 events.
Yeah, I will say that about Reebok. As much as I was not a fan of a lot of their stuff, boy, you couldn't wear. So year to year, it's a funny kind of weird point, right? 2015 to 17 is when like stance socks got sexy, right? Charlie remembers this, sneaker guy. So stance socks were cool. The first year I went, 2015, is when they gave you like cool high top socks, all that stuff. People were still wearing stance socks. And if you went then, you couldn't wear a different kind of underwear that wasn't Reebok. If you wore Nike underwear, you had to put your Reebok tights over it, right? Nothing. Had to all be Reebok, which is awesome. Title sponsor, Reebok CrossFit Games, yada, yada, yada.
But they gave you enough to get through
They gave you $6,500 worth of stuff. How do I know that? I was not joking that I wrote it off on my taxes that year. But yeah, if you're going to limit it, because I did not wear all that stuff that weekend. Could not have, unless I like changed like in walks between events. And then 2017 was the same thing, but they gave out ankle socks and tall white tube socks to like punish everybody. It was funny, which is fine now. Tall white socks are sexy, but they, you know, it was a different time then. Stance socks were cool. So that's how they kind of punished everybody. I still joked with Tal about that way down the road, man. But it's, you know, and that's just another like big shift, dude. Like I used to joke with people about like CrossFit saving Reebok. It never did, right? I never knew that Reebok and Adidas were basically the same company, which is hilarious to see Reebok or Adidas make such an aggressive push like in Europe. Like that was a lot, because some of those people had just signed with other shoe companies and they're out there wearing Gazelles and like I was waiting for somebody to wear the Run DMC joints, but nobody's shoe culture.
You're a shoe guy, right?
Oh
Adidas has made a massive push.
No, Adidas still puts out bangers. They still
Joel just look good.
Joel just reviewed that Drop Zero, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The only Adidas I got are Yeezys. I don't know if I can say that on here now, because you know whatever. But that's the only Adidas I have. But the ones Joel loved the fitness shoe they came out with. I think they've had it for a while, and for a long time everybody wore Ada Power lifters, right? They were the authority. Basically, it was them and Ramaleos and weightlifting, and then of course in CrossFit it comes out, right? Because that old Ada Power honestly was like you could do box jumps and it was kind of floppy. But yeah, dude, I love GoRuck stuff. I think I thought that was a cool move, and it's a bigger company to where like CrossFit's not their bread and butter, and that's always been a better relationship to me when like it's not your bread and butter, so you don't have to make risky decisions, right? I was waiting on the bubble to pop for No Bull, like that venture capitalist money to run out for a long time, just because like I feel like most brands that, and this is only like my experience like Ramwad, right? There was a certain point where you stopped seeing that word because they did not want to be tied just to CrossFit, right? It kind of puts a ceiling on your ability to scale. So all you started seeing, if you remember, is that RW logo, the circle, right? Wu-Tang. But it's a lot of people don't like being tied to it like that, and so that's why I was cool with No Ruck and like GoRuck. And like if you saw how they inserted themselves into space, dude, they are giving awesome work to media people. They were setting up huge booths, and you and I, now that's a big thing, open thing people are talking about, how much it costs to like just be present at an event, and all those things. And like they did it right, dude. Like they got in and assimilated to the community. Hey, now we're gonna write that big check, and like again, Ryan Schultz, my dog, let me look behind the Wizard of Oz curtain. I know how much that check is. It's a lot. And so that's why I was cool. Like when they're like, oh, Masters Games in Birmingham, I was like, oh God, I get to cook breakfast in my kitchen, sleep in my bed, get some No Bull or some GoRuck stuff. But I don't know. I texted everybody and asked them how that Northern Lights stuff was. And it was real mixed review. So we'll see. But I agree. If you don't give me 3 shirts, I need to be able to sell the windshield like Ricky Bobby. Well, now we can make some money. All right, let me throw a little temporary tattoo on or something like. Oh, the price is right, a permanent tattoo. I don't know. Let's go crazy. I got an empty leg and arm I need to fill up. But It's still going to be fun, dude. Like, you know me, I'm going to go suck all the positivity out of it I can, get all the hugs and high fives and consensual chest bumps I can give out, and then see the people I love being around, man. And it's more things for you to come and do and content stuff. And so everybody's going to get a cool piece of the pie. I just don't want the pie to go bad and there not be any pie next year or the year after that, right? So
yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like, the Masters are over 50% of the open registrants.
yeah,
Right? Like, that number has not changed in 5 years.
yeah.
And I don't want them shit on because
No.
they moved over here to Birmingham, right?
No.
Oh, tomorrow we find out if we're going to get to do behind the scenes of the Masters games.
You mic me up, dog. You gonna mic me up? You know, I want to be fit enough for me and Easy to have like a Bird and Magic rivalry, but we'll see. I hadn't put that out there till right now. I guess I should have left that in the brain, but yeah, I'd love to be fit enough. But there's some freaks in our thing. I'm hoping some people can't make that overseas travel, baby. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm going to make a statement here. Probably get me in trouble, but I'm going to make it
Good.
because I watch this sport. When you came in 41st, I looked at people's videos ahead of you to see should people get popped or penalized so that my boy can get in.
Oh yeah.
One of the people was Easy, Columbus native, hometown kid.
Yeah.
Big fan, dude. Range of motion needs some work.
Easy's?
Yes.
Scott, Easy's touch and go snatch 300 before it was cool. His range of motion is fine. I'll tell you what got him last year is the workout was weird, but he was at Rich's gym. I ain't trying to go I want the lights and I'm gonna record myself. I ain't going to be around everybody looking. That's crazy. But like, dude, he's a staple in the sport, bro. Especially for like African American community. Like, I think back, Alex Nettie, Elizabeth Akinwale, whom I still love.
I want him there, but like,
I'm talking about like
better than his during this.
No, I know exactly who got popped for me because I texted him immediately when he dropped out. It was Chase Hill. They got him on standing up front squats, which Chase's range of motion, he can touch his ball bag to the ground when he squats. It must have been like standing up. Chase is incredibly fit, and the weight was not heavy enough.
They really reviewed many videos, man.
No, I don't think they did either. Yeah, dude. And I can't. Me and him texted about it, and I was like, oh shit, they're gonna give you an appeal, dog. But I was in like 36th for a whole day, and then they must have gave some people a appeal or something like that. But no, dude, I think in-house stuff is in-house stuff for sure. I did Masters Fitness Collective last year, and it was probably the best I've ever felt competing in person. So that's why I was pumped about the season, and I waited long enough to start striking matches to seal the turn from Ben Bergeron. I only got so many to strike. So I waited a while to start striking matches and training and like getting emotionally involved with it and day to day. And this is probably the best I've ever felt leading into a season and throughout, right? Normally, dude, when I get to semifinals, I'm so burnt out from being a psychopath and emotional ups and downs and thinking every day's got to be perfect. And so there's been a big kind of maturity process in me athletically at 35, but it's been good, man. And then the guy, I've worked with a few coaches. I love Jason Layden. We made huge progress, dude. And Elle is one of the coaches on Brute with me, who is an absolute genius. Like, I thought Kelsey had an awesome year. Danielle's having a really good year. He coaches her. And he does the same with me, dude. And I'm older and wiser, and he does not beat me to death. And it's a minimal dose, maximum effectiveness stuff. So I think it's going to be a good year. And Easy, like, deserves to be there. He's always been really fit when he wants to be. Like, he took some years off. But, dude, he's been fit for a long time. And so it's going to be really fun. The people I didn't realize Bronislav was in 35, 39. I want to say Morad's going to do it. He pulled out at Knoxville, so I'm not sure, like, what the reason was for that. But
so I talked to him before that weekend was up, and he said, depending on what they find and depending on what they announced as the prize money for it.
Oh shit! Well, he ain't coming. What was it? They looking at shoulder
prize money. It's the same as it's always been. $25,000 to win. He's coming to take if he's healthy.
What he do?
It's something in his hip. He was having an MRI the next day.
He's so strong. Dude, he's so strong and moves so well.
Uh-oh. Someone cut Dex's cord. I didn't think anybody could do that.
I thought that was me this time.
No, it's Dex. There we go.
Me?
Now we got it back. We got it back.
Was that me?
Yep.
Oh, my bad. The internet here is dodgy when it rains. But Will moves so well, dude. It's weird for him to have. I wish I was joking. That's like dead ass serious. He moves so well. It's weird. And he's been doing it for so long. It's weird for him to have like a nitpicky injury like that. He's so strong, dog. But yeah, it'll be fun, dude. I think the field is very cool to me. Just looking at the host of characters, I don't know a lot of them, but like the Wills and Bronislav and Easy's been in there. It'll be cool for me to go have a whole lot of give a shit for an individual competition finally. And now we don't have to feel weird when we say Dex Hopkins Games athlete. Finally did individual. I don't care. It's Masters. Suck it, everybody. Shawn Michaels, suck it thing. But this will be a fun weekend, dude. Like, Mississippi's next door to Alabama, so most of the homies that have been along the ride with me the whole time I've done it will be able to come. So it's gonna be a good time, and my little girls will be able to be there. So it'll be awesome because they were at Syndicate last time I did individual. You know, not really able to like yell "Go, Daddy," but now they both can, and they're both little absolute psychopaths. So we're gonna have a weekend.
So I got a quick question for you, and I want Charlie to jump in here because we're all fans of the Attitude Era of WWE.
Yeah.
Right. With the 35 to 39-year-old group, how much chirping is going to go on during that event?
I'm a proponent of and you know that I wish this was a thing for years. Dallin and Hopper. I don't know. No, look, I ain't talking shit to Roman ever. I know what you used to do for a living. I don't want any part of that, sir. And you're Russian. I don't know how serious you are and don't understand most of the things you say. But, dude, it'll be fun. Easy will talk smack in a healthy way. And, like, I think that group, like, at Masters, at MFC, mad shit talk. In the stalls, in the walking out. Like, me and Ken Battison, Alex from Louisiana, Baranich, and a bunch of people, dude. That's what's so weird. Like, me and Alex started together. Our first year at Regionals 2014 together, and we were there. I think he kicked my ass that weekend. But it's a little healthy smack talk sesh, like we're playing, pick up at the YMCA, doing weird two-handed layups because we're old. But it'll be fun, dude. I'm excited. And then we are all Attitude Era kids if you watch wrestling. And if you're in the South, you watch wrestling probably. So, and I'm gonna wear it. I don't know. I wonder how much trouble we get in since they gave us 3 T-shirts if I do wear like a DX Suck It shirt because I got one. So we'll see.
I mean, you almost have to. You had the Stone Cold, so you got to bring the other one out.
Also got a hat. So the hat's fair game, I feel like.
Hat's fair game.
Yeah, I got a Stone Cold hat and a Suck It hat. So, and if worst case, I'll just do the Shawn Michaels pose if I do well in an event. I ain't mad at that. And then somebody can throw me like. My buddy Michael threw me 2 beers the year at Syndicate. Wasn't too cool because I was in like 20th, but whatever. We were having fun. He threw me 2 beers from the stands, and I smashed 2 of them. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna go have fun. I'm gonna be fit, and that group of people know it. And dude, a bunch of friends. Kenzie Riley's gonna be there. Like we haven't been in the same place competing in a long time, so it's gonna be a fun weekend, dude. And that means Roy's going to be there and her little hooligans. She's got 2 little clones now. So everybody that's started with me has all the children's and all the things. And so a few of them will be there. And so there should be some real healthy you suck shit talk. But it'll also be like high fives and then hugs at the end like it always is. But I want the spice in there. Yeah.
Corey said at MFC, we had a guy straight up call a shot and then backed it up.
It was me, Corey. It's actually Ken went first. That last workout, whoever programmed that shit, I told him I tested it and did it 1 round. They called me a liar to my face. And then Ken was in the heat before us and did it. And I think either we tied. He might have beat me by a second. But it was like you had 3 minutes to do 300-meter row, 3 deadlifts, 365, 3 legless. And I think maybe it was 150 handstand walk. And Ken's like, it was an old like grid pro when it was like grid, not weird Florida minor league, scary stuff. It's not. They're doing a great job. That was not a stray they should catch. They're doing great. It's cool. Grid still gives me PTSD. But yeah, Ken is freakishly fit, and so we broke that workout and did it. Both of us did it in 1 round. It was fun. But it was us, Corey. How dare you? How dare ye? We'll do the same thing this weekend. I wish Ken would have qualified, dude. Like it would have been fun to have that. And he might come and watch. But they were all around Maximus, like. I want to say Ken lives in Indiana or somewhere around there in that region. So they were always around there. I don't know if Tony's competing this year from Timberwolf that used to be, but Tony's been exceptionally fit. He's been a Masters guy for a long time. It's just, like most people didn't want to do it, which I get. Hurting now is a lot different than hurting then. But I just want to stay a scary dad. That's all.
Well, I love when you turn 35, like getting canceled doesn't even matter anymore.
Am I in that?
You're
Am I in that space now?
you can say whatever you want. Nobody cares. Right?
35 is the old man mark where you can say creepy shit, and not because that's news to me, and we're about to rev that up. So I've been waiting on that.
Maybe just in the gym, maybe not at Kroger.
Yeah, in the gym for sure. But that's what's weird, dude. Is like that is the different framework of this place. So classes are 45 minutes. The population is very similar. The approach is a little different as far as methodology stuff. Very similar methodology, very much more opportunity for it to bleed into every other part of your life from a structure standpoint, as far as nutrition and kind of guiding every step of your health and wellness stuff. But like, what a shit talks to say. I am doing the exact demos and stuff, and it's appreciated, dude. And it's appreciated everywhere. I just being in a new place where it is, but it's not. Right? I don't know what I can and cannot say yet, but giving flowers to everybody. I still love both, but this place has been a breath of fresh air to me. Getting back into a place that has professionalism, is very interested in creating careers for coaches as far as like salary and benefits, and the heart of it is still to cure the world's most vexing disease through the same methodology. And so I'm on board, and the deeper I get into it, the more on board I am, especially under this flag, because it tickles all my feel goods. I still get to come kick it with the homies and do my thing. So
is it more of a franchise model as opposed to like?
It is. Yeah. So their headquarters are in Birmingham, right? That's where we did Coach Con. Mine is in Madison, Alabama. There's one in downtown Huntsville. The homie Macy runs. Blair Morris owns the two here. I'm not sure who owns the ones in Birmingham, but it might just be corporate. But the corporate offices are in Birmingham. It's very, very regional. I think the furthest west it goes is Houston. The furthest east it goes is South Carolina, maybe. But I mean, I ain't gonna get into the nooks and crannies of it. But business model wise, it is. We could take some things. It is very tried and true and steady. I'll say that. And I've dug it, man. It is a thing to present to people that the friction points of an affiliate, whether you're starting a business or otherwise, are taken off. So you get to, I dare say, be more of a flow state of the things that are important to you. So if you're a books person, cool, do the books. Here's the structure for the classes and all these things. It gets a little more personal on the development side, right? I don't bring Scott into that hour class, smash him like, all right, Scott, hope your pull-ups develop next class, that when it comes back around, right? It's very structured. We do 45-minute classes. There's no argument about a Metcon and a lift every day. The programming, if you come to this Iron Tribe or an Iron Tribe in Birmingham, is exactly the same. The product's the same, the flow of the class, the verbiage. I dare say the way we teach, I know I probably have a little nuance versus some people are just kind of learning that this weekend. My man Matt, this operations guy here, is a little different. He's a jiu-jitsu guy and a West Side minded fella. But it was cool last weekend, and they had, I mean, you remember the Big Sky things, right? Like where they get everybody there. So they do that every year. It's not a memory. It's a constant practice. A lot, Aaron. So I want to say maybe 200 something here. The ticket's a little different, Aaron. I'd say also look at that. So, but I mean, so just model-wise, we have two class options. It's Power, is traditional kind of functional fitness class, right? And then Prime, right? So say Scott's coming off. What's the last injury you had? I can't remember.
All of them.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
All of them. So when you're coming off that injury, right, it's hard to come back into class. Like, hey, we're doing Fran today, guys. Well, Scott, get on the bike, right? So we do Prime stuff. And so Prime is like the personal training class. So you come in, your program's personal, your nutrition stuff's personal, and all that stuff. So it is elaborate, dude. And the things available to you that you're able to take hold of as far as just a deep experience. And across the board, like franchise, whether it's, a standalone one like Blair has here in 2 locations or the HQ ones down in Birmingham, the experience is the same, right? Programming for Power is the same. So it's like, I mean, you go to Polaris, it's Polaris's programming, or maybe they're, what's Christie's programming?
Ibex.
Maybe it's Ibex. Maybe Charlie goes to a Mayhem one or this or that. Everybody's got their own flavor, right? They're all cool and whatever, but you know what you're going to. We go to a Mayhem gym, we're probably going to do 1 million GHDs and rope climbs. We go, whatever that flavor is. it's consistent here, right? There's a lady in here now who lives in Nashville. Her daughter's doing a summer internship. She comes in here every day, same membership, covers this one, right? So she can check in here. All her stats are tracked. All the software and stuff like is pretty proprietary. The app's dope. Like I said, I've tasted a lot of foot and eaten some crow in the last 3 months, as far as like my outlook and my very, this is the way. Now, how we do it is, CrossFit, but it's been different in a very positive light, man. It's been a cool one to stand in, especially last weekend, getting to kind of rub elbows with their head of programming, Kyle Forrest, the guy who kind of founded it and kind of navigated the lawsuit stuff, CrossFit, and kind of, made it right and has this thing. And just like, and it's a Christian organization, which I'm down with JC. And so it's been awesome. And then the outlook for me is like long-term. So, and like I said, a lot of the fear I had to open an affiliate to where it's risky, right? That business model, it is what it is. And there's very good verbiage to like, oh, there's the toolbox and all this stuff. And that's cool, but it's still on you. And this is that same scenario, but the support that comes along is not that verbiage like, here's the tools, good luck, pay your affiliate fee. And not to say that's the depth they go to, that's just, that's what I know about it. And so it's been cool. I've dug it.
Well, it's been awesome catching up. We're going to have to do this more periodic. Get your take on
well, we get you out here early, babe. We got 4 minutes. We're done. Get your meeting. No, dude, I love you guys. I'm going to holler at you, man. We're going to be around. And I'll definitely see you in Birmingham, baby.
Yeah, for sure. And you might even be the star of the behind the scenes. Who knows?
Let's go. Mic me up. Been waiting on it.
With that, thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys have been awesome, as always. And, we'll be back again sometime in the future with Clydesdale After Dark.
Hell yeah, brother.
See you guys later. Bye, guys.
Later, bud.
Yeah.